In this video, we're going to cover how to set up your agency account. We're looking at the dashboard, which is similar to the dashboard on the standard accounts. What's different here is you're able to see combined metrics across all of your accounts. We only have one agency account set up in this account right now. Here, you're able to filter by the accounts that you want. If you wanted to see metrics off a specific account, you could just click right here. Otherwise, it's going to be blended metrics across the account. You can change the date range by clicking apply and then the submit button. Look at your profit, revenue, and ROAS. Hover over to see how all the channels are doing across your accounts. And this is great for a quick glance at is revenue, things like profit, ad spend. How are they looking across all your accounts and how are they comparing to the previous period? You're going to want to go through and check the easy setup guide. Here, you'll find guides on how to set up your standard accounts and configure a bunch of settings. The first thing you're going to do when you create your agency account is head over to the accounts page. Right here, you'll be able to list all of the client accounts that you have, and I'm going to show you how to create accounts. Start with clicking the new button, and then we just need to enter in some basic information. For this example, I'm just going to use test50@gmail.com and then put in a random first name and last name. Next, you can see that it is marked as paid. So essentially, you're able to toggle this on and off. You should typically just leave it as paid. When the agency is the one creating the account, they're going to have the full access to the account, and the sub accounts under it can be marked as paid under the agency plan. Next, we can see a drop down for platform. So we can choose Shopify or WordPress. If you are doing a custom website that isn't Shopify or WordPress, we have recently added the functionality to be able to do this. You'll need to reference the documentation for more information on this. In that situation, you would select WordPress. Right now, we're just going to choose Shopify. Then we have the option set the password for the account or send an email invite to them. This option is great because it gives the agency the ability to have the control over the account. If you don't want to give the client access to their account, you don't have to. Keep in mind though, if they have the Shopify app installed on their store, they could log into it that way. If you prefer to just set the password yourself, then you can do that, or you can just send an email link to the client and then have them set a password for their account. In the email field right here, you put the email address of the client. For now, we'll just set a password and click create. Okay, great. We just created the account and you click close. Now we can see our new account is right here. If we click on modify, we can go over to integrations and see that we have some options here. If we click modify on an account that's already set up, you're able to see all the ad accounts for that specific accounts, and you can change that if you want to. And see their Shopify store is connected. There's a couple ways you can go about getting the app installed. One is you could put in your store, myshopify.com right here. And if you have app permission to the client's Shopify store, then you could go ahead and just click the connect button. But you have to make sure that you actually have staff permissions. If you don't have staff permissions, then you're going to go to a 404 page on Shopify. Another option is you can click generate client link, click OK, and click modify again. Now it generated a link to the Shopify store. We can simply give this to the client and have them install the app there, and it will connect it to this account that we just created here. So that's one option. Click close. In order to log into the accounts that you just created, you would do that by just simply clicking the email of the account. In the top right-hand corner, you have some basic settings here. Say my agency. You can change the currency if you need to, and then you can also upload a logo. So we can save that. If we go back to accounts, next thing we're going to do is we're actually going to click and go into one of the accounts. Click right here. We get a pop-up that says, please input your domain first. Click OK. And then there's just a couple fields that we need to fill out here. We're going to put my website.com. For the company name, let's just put in my brand and upload a logo right here. Click save. We can see green saved message down here. You can also adjust the currency depending on what the account needs. After you get the basic settings configured, and it's important, you have to fill out the domain, the company, and save it before it will let you navigate to some of the other pages. From here, we would just go to integration. When we get to the integrations, the very first thing you're going to want to do is make sure that you get the Shopify store connected by clicking the connect button if you have the access, or by giving the login credential to your client, or by giving the client link that we're able to generate when creating the account. Lastly, if a client creates an account on their own and you want access to be able to see that account right here, reach out to support@inchargeads.com and let us know the account that you would like to be added, and we'll be able to link the account for you. For everything else related to the standard accounts, I recommend going to the easy setup. Here, you'll be able to find out information about setting up the standard accounts and how to use some of the main features.